Welcome to Dark Hours FM. If you'd like to help keep these stories alive and feeling generous, you can give a tip at Buy Me a Coffee or unlock more haunting at Patreon. All the links in the bio. Tonight's story, Season 1, Episode 11, The Locked Room. Let's begin. I don't talk about this much, mostly because when I do, people smile like I'm joking. Or worse, they ask if I'm sure it really happened. I am. It was 2017. I had just taken a job as a caretaker for a property management company in northern Illinois. Old rural homes, barns, vacant farmhouses. Some had been abandoned for years. My job was basic. Inspect, secure, report anything strange. I worked alone most days. This particular house sat on a dead-end gravel road, flanked by cornfields on all sides, 2 stories, brown wood siding, collapsed porch. According to the file, the family who owned it had vanished back in the 90s. Mortgage never paid. No next of kin. Bank had repossessed it, but no one had touched it in over 20 years. That alone was weird. What bank sits on a home that long? The inside was worse than I expected. Dust so thick it muffled your steps. Dead insects sealed in the windows like fossils. The kitchen looked frozen in time. Cereal box still on the counter. Plates in the drying rack. The calendar on the fridge was from August 1997. The days were marked off up until the 14th. Then nothing. I found a phone on the wall. Cord cut clean. The line was dead anyway. Upstairs, all the bedrooms were exactly how you'd expect. Strip beds, open closets, water-stained ceilings. But it was the room at the end of the hall that stopped me cold. It had a padlock on the outside. Who locks a room from the outside in their own house? The company never mentioned it. The door was solid wood. No gaps, no sound. Just a heavy silence pressing against it. I made a note of it and left. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that room, about the thick layer of dust on the doorknob, untouched for decades, but something had scratched the paint around the frame, claw marks, like someone tried to force their way out. The next day, I went back. This time, I brought bolt cutters. It took effort. The lock was old, but solid. When it snapped, it echoed through the whole house. Inside was a bedroom, completely untouched. Girls' room, maybe early teens. Posters of pop bands from the 90s. A makeup mirror with cracked glass. A twin bed with a pink comforter. Still made, but the air smelled wrong. It was sweet, like rotting fruit. And then I saw it. Something scratched into the wall above the bed. It watches from the vent. I stepped back. The room had a ceiling vent just above the bed frame. But no airflow, no sound. I stood there for a full minute listening. Then something moved inside the vent. I left. I reported it. My supervisor brushed it off. Said the house would be bulldozed eventually, told me not to worry about the vent. But 3 nights later, I got a voicemail from an unknown number. All it said was, "Please, don't open it again." The voice sounded young and terrified. I changed my number the next day. 2 weeks passed. Then, during another inspection, I was assigned to clear out the house. "Box anything worth salvaging," they said. I didn't want to go back, but I needed the paycheck. The house was colder than before, like the heat had been sucked out. The girl's room looked untouched, except the vent was open, and on the bed, a small music box, one I hadn't seen before. I approached slowly. Inside was a ballerina broken at the waist. She spun sideways, jerking like a puppet. The melody it played, it was backward, warped. But under the lid was a note, scrawled in pencil. "It's not in the vent anymore." I left everything, got in my truck, and drove until I hit city lights. I quit the job, moved, burned the uniform, but sometimes I still hear the melody. Usually at night, always coming from inside the walls, and every time it plays, I find something new in my home. A child's handprint on the mirror, a scratched vent cover, a whisper through the ductwork. Don't lock me in again. Thanks for joining us in the dark. Some stories fade with the light, others stay with you. We'll see you next time, if you make it.